Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Rush Duel Extra. This is the deck we're going to be using today. This is Reptiles. Now we used Reptiles one time so far and we used it in Character Draft, but in that game we were playing the 60 card build, which basically, so the reason we're on 60 cards is because we want to be milling ourselves a lot and we don't want to be decking out whilst doing that. The reason we want to be milling ourselves a lot is for this bad boy, Ecdysis Caliglion. So this card gains attack equal to the number of cards in your graveyard times 100. So if we can get a load of cards in the graveyard, this thing becomes really big, really quick. This time we've decided to go for the 40 card build because we think it might be a little bit more consistent. We'll have to see how it goes. I think there's a lot less self-milling in this build, so we'll see if we can actually get him to be as big as we want him to be. But yeah, so the core of this deck is to summon Ecdysis Caliglion, and everything is kind of built around that. So our other boss monsters, we have Rocketortoise Modulacrion, which can send up to 2 other face-up reptile-type monsters from your field to the graveyard, and then it gains attack equal to the number of monsters sent to the graveyard to make this requirement times 700, which means this guy can go up to 3,900. Really good. Obviously as big as a 7's Road Magician with a bit of a steeper cost. We have Predator Gunleon. This, for the most part, is just going to be a 2,500 attacker because his effect is only active if we are on 1,000 life points or lower. We do have a few ways to make our life points a bit lower, but I'm not sure how often we're actually going to hit that threshold. But we can send the top 5 cards of our deck to the graveyard, again, fulfilling our milling condition. And then he gains attack equal to the difference between your life points and your opponent's life points until the end of this turn. So if Alex is on a shit ton of life points, we can get a shit ton of attack. We then have the Unknown Flyleon. So at the cost of 1,000 life points, so again, getting our life points lower, we can change one face-down monster on our opponent's field to face-up attack position. This specifically is going to be really good if we are in a position where Alex is forced to play a lot of defense monsters and pass, and then we can get in for massive damage with things like our Ecdysis Caliglion or our other big monsters. So Clawleon is a really good card, again, for this same sort of thing, where if Alex is on a lot of defense monsters, this card allows us to inflict piercing damage. So again, really, really strong, and 1,400 attack is pretty decent as well. Spy Turtle, the Observational Turtle. This card effectively is in here just to mill ourselves. Its effect is mostly redundant, but it allows us to send the top card of a deck to the graveyard, which makes our Ecdysis more powerful and starts fueling our graveyard for some of our other effects. Then we have Mantis Leon at the cost of 300 life points. So again, it's not as heavy costed as some of the other costs, which are 1,000, but 300 gets you there sometimes. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, again, self-milling. If a reptile-type normal monster is among them, which is why we're playing so many normal monsters, we can add 1 reptile-type normal monster from our graveyard to our hand. So this is a really, really cool card because we have to get a little bit lucky with it, but if we do, we can then use it as a 1-card tribute fodder to get out any of our big boys. So next up, Enraged Scale Liberation. So if your opponent has a monster on the field, pay 1,000 life points. Send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then if a reptile-type monster is among the cards sent, you can make 1 face-up reptile monster gain attack equal to the number of reptile monsters sent to the graveyard by this effect times 200. So this card does kind of everything we want it to. It makes our life points lower, which generally is a good thing. Hopefully we won't draw this when we're on 1,000 or less. Sends top 5 cards of the deck to the graveyard, which again fills up a graveyard, which is exactly what we want, and can allow our guys to attack over something they otherwise couldn't. So just a really strong card all round. Spy Observation, this is our spell trap destruction. We have to have 2 reptiles to make it work, but we can excavate the top card of a deck and then place the excavated card on either the top or bottom of our deck. Then we can destroy spell trap card, so yeah, just really good. We are on Monster Reborn. The reason we're on Monster Reborn is because we're going to be self-milling ourselves a lot. If we mill something like our Ecdysis Caliglion, we need a way to bring it back. Now, obviously, we could also mill our Monster Reborn, making it also kind of useless. But that's why we're on 3 copies of Magical Stone Excavation. But at the cost of sending 2 cards from our hand to the graveyard, we can add a spell card back to our hand. This lets us get back Monster Reborn or any of our other spells if we specifically need them. And then finally, Heavenly Revelation. We can send any number of monsters from our field to the graveyard. Then if the total of the original levels of those monsters sent to the graveyard by this effect are 10 or more, you can special summon 1 level 8 or lower monster from your graveyard to your field face up, and monster summon gains 300 attack. So if we have milled all of our big boss monsters, such as our Ecdysis Caliglion, or if we just don't have one available in our hand, but we do have 3 monsters, we can just activate Heavenly Revelation, send 3 of our other monsters to the grave, bring back Ecdysis, and give it a mini attack boost on the boot. So this deck is all about milling and resurrecting. That's kind of what our plan is, and we'll see how that goes. The other thing is this does require a total of 10 levels, which means it'll either be 1 of our big boss monsters plus any other monster, or 3 of our monsters, because we're not on any 6s. So what we have in the side deck is we have some of our level 6s. So Hot Flame Leon is it's not a bad card. If our life points are lower than our opponents, we can pay 600. So again, we have to be lower, but then it does make us lower afterwards. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then if a reptile-type monster is among the cards sent, you can special summon a level 6 or lower reptile-type normal monster. So this card is fine. I don't think it's as useful as the Mantis Leon, but just having it there as an option is pretty good. Plus, again, when using it with Heavenly Revelation, this will make it a 2-card combo without having to use one of our 2 tribute monsters. We're also on Heavenly Gift, because if we do side in the Hot Flame Leon, we will be siding in Heavenly Gift as well. This, again, if we discard cards totaling level 10 or higher, we can draw 2 cards. So the idea would be hopefully get rid of a Flame Leon and any other regular monster, draw 2 cards, just help us filter through the deck a bit. We're on the Siesta Toreros. This is good. One, if we're really panicking about decking out, we can just use this to shotgun cards back into our deck. And if Alex is on monsters with really low defense, we can use this to change them into defense mode and attack over them. Unfortunately, that's also the biggest weakness of our Ecdysis Caligulons. We have to hope that Alex isn't on a similar strategy. So Aegis of the 5 Houses. This is a really cool card because this does actually include reptiles. So if Alex is on cards like Mirror Force, or if he is on cards like the Sakuretsu Armor and the support Sakuretsu Trap, which acts as a Mirror Force if Sakuretsu Armor is in the graveyard, we can side in 3 copies of Aegis of the 5 Houses and hopefully play around that somewhat. Hard Defense Mission is just because we don't have any traps in this deck. And I think Hard Defense is almost always generically useful. If we feel like we need more reactionary plays, we can side this in. And if Alex tries to summon out his boss monsters, we can just pop them. And then finally, the Warning Scale Phosphorescence. So when your opponent normal summons or special summons a level 7 or higher monster face up, or you have a face up reptile type monster on the field, this turn, your opponent's monsters with 3000 or more attack cannot attack. Also, you can shuffle up to 5 reptile type monsters from your graveyard into the deck. So I don't know if this card is actually going to be doing much. But if Alex is on a deck that is able to summon 3000 attack monsters, we want a way to interact with them a bit. So this would specifically be good against like maximums because it's level 7 or higher. So obviously 10 higher than 7. And maximums we usually have 3000 or more attack. And the benefit of this deck is even if Alex does manage to summon a maximum, which has a ton of attack points, we can be over it with Ecdysis Caligulon. And if he can't quite get over it, we can use Enraged Scale Liberation to kind of push him to a higher attack threshold. So this is the deck we're bringing. Hopefully it was going to... Hopefully it will do better than the 60 card variant, because our 60 card variant, if I remember correctly, got completely destroyed by Alex's Thunder deck. So we're going to take this deck in. We're going to hope we win. Let's see if we can get a W for the Reptiles. All right, well, let's fire it in, and then you can try and speculate what I'm playing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll go first.
It's always the way.
And that's oof.
Well, at the very least, you got 2 cards at your hand. Makes you feel any better. My hand is not much better, but it is still better. I summon Clawleon.
Ooh, reptiles. Nice.
So unfortunately, I can't use his effect. Not that his effect would do much anyway, but we will just attack you directly. Would have been nice to send the top 2 cards of my deck to the grave, but...
Okay, okay. Man, yeah. Alright, so... Full Owl.
Okay.
Bigger Full Owl. Uses effect. Get back Little Full Owl.
Double tribute?
We will.
Or fusion?
Genie's Fire Breath.
Okay.
One. Yep. Can't use his effect because they needed 2
level
level 7s, but I can do 1. Big Full Owl.
And then Little Full Owl.
Activate his fate, yeah.
And then flip over fusion.
Yeah, that would have been...
I don't think you need it, to be honest.
No.
Okay, so we're taking a big chunk here. And you have made it so many drawing 2 cards. But you unbricked your hand with 2 cards, so surely I can do the same. Ooh. Okay. What is the best way to do this? Alright, I will normal summon my Mantis Leon. So I can pay 300 life points, send top 3 cards of my deck to the graveyard. If a reptile type normal monster is among them, I can add 1 reptile type normal monster from my graveyard to my hand. So, well, we got some reptile normal monsters. What is the next phase of the plan? We will... I don't think this card does much for me right now. Your 1600 is threatening, and you have a back row as well. So I could do this, because this doesn't actually help me, does it? Yeah, alright. We will normal summon Ancient Lizard Warrior.
Okay.
Then I will tribute 2 to summon out my Rockatortoise Modulacleon. We'll summon out Armored Lizard, set this back row. Then we're going to go straight to battle. We'll start by trying to get Armored Lizard into Full Owl. Then I guess we're going to ram into your other Full Owl and pass to you.
Okay. Set. Ripple's command.
Ooh, okay. So it says you bring something in defense position. Am I forgetting which card this is? Whoa. Change its battle. Oh, yeah, you can change its battle position. Yeah, yeah.
I can change its battle position.
I was thinking of you have another
Don't
card.
know why
which
I'd
brings
want to.
Well, it's because there's a monster. One of your cards actually bring your guys back in defense mode. I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, oh, that's kind of sucks because it's in defense mode. But then, like with command, you could change it to attack mode from defense mode. Not a huge fan of losing my big monster. I suppose
Monster.
we only lost 1,000, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, what is going to be the play? I could do that, then do that. What does that get me? Not a lot in the grand scheme. Alright, we will normal summon Mantis Leon. Activate its effect. I will take back the boy. This now changes things up a bit. So if I summon this, that can't be that one. It has to be at least level 3. Alright, we'll start by activating Spy Observation. Put that on top. I will destroy this card. So the person wants to tap shuffle 1. Okay, so that's really good that that's gone.
Yeah.
Then we will summon my Jormungand. That's easy to pronounce. Let's go with that. We will then activate our Heavenly Revelation. So I'll send 3 monsters to the graveyard to special summon from the grave Ecdysis Caliglion.
Oh.
Then I'm going to summon Ancient Lizard Warrior and summon Ancient Turtle Protector. Tribute both to summon Predator Gunleon. Then we'll go battle. We'll start by trying to attack over your metal, which we do. Nice. And then we will attack over your defense monster. Alright, back to you, buddy. This is a pretty rough board to out, although they do have really shitty defense points. I don't know if your deck can take advantage of that.
No. Alright, babysitter.
Okay.
Babysitter.
There's heavy metal coming out.
We're gonna get out. Hard rock.
Which one's this? During your turn, the card was normal summoned by tributing 2 levels, so its effect doesn't work, but choose one face at level 7 monster on your opponent's field, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference in attack between the chosen monster and this card. Okay, that's big burn boy. So that's going to make your guy huge, which will let him attack over my Gunleon. Not Gunleon, Caliglion.
Yes.
Okay. We have a lot of things we can do. Do we have game? I think so. Right, normal summon. Normal summon. Then we'll put the card that we excavated and put on the top of our deck, which was a second copy.
Okay.
And then I haven't done the maths, but I'm pretty sure that's game, right? Yeah, it's got to be game, because these two is 39. So this guy only has to do 200. Yes, 1,000 over game. Oh,
Okay.
the Reptiles. This is a pretty cool matchup, though, because Roa was, like, kind of the villain of the first part of Season 1 of the Sevens anime. Obviously, with all his, like, Royal Rebel stuff, it's quite obvious that he's kind of a fiend user. Makes him very villainous, but he becomes, like, their friend, like, pretty quick. And then I'm kind of playing the... It turns out that the chameleon guy wasn't, like, the final big bad of Sevens, but he was close enough to it. All right, game 2.
Set.
The only thing I can think that could be is Royal Rebels No Wave, who is famous for his fat ass.
Oh, I don't know.
Or summon 2 Jormungand's. Then they won't be sticking around because we're going to get rid of them to summon Rocket Tortoise Modulacleon. Then I'm going to summon my Clawleon. I'm going to go ahead and activate Rocket Tortoise to get myself up to 32 in case this does have a fat ass. Excellent. Ooh.
That was lucky for me. I got Archfiend's Incarnation.
That's pretty good. Oh, that's really cool. When I look at that card and I go, no, this is Summon Skull. It has the word Summon Skull on it. The picture is Summon Skull.
Yeah.
This is a Summon Skull card. Yeah, it's done for me.
Summon Skull and No Wave card.
Well, that's a point, actually. You have traditionally used Summon Skull as your legend in this deck, but I'm wondering if you would have swapped off of it. I think just when you've got things like Pot of Greed, Mirror Force, Monster Reborn, maybe Summon Skull doesn't seem as an attractive option. Okay.
Raw Rebels Phaser.
Tribute
And
for
Fallout. Activate to get little Fallout.
Ooh.
Fusion.
I forget what this one does. So he's 27, which is enough of an effect on its own, really. Special summon 1 fiend type monster from your graveyard. Okay, so you don't have anything huge in there. Yeah, so we're just getting a little 16. The 16's not bad.
Yeah, we'll go battle. I'll just be over.
My poor Rocket Tortoise. Is this payback for Sevens draft? Okay, we have cards. We'll start with this. So this is Mantis Leon. We use this effect. Oh, we are so good at hitting reptile normals. I mean, we do have a lot of them, but I wasn't expecting to hit it 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I could do that. Does that actually further my agenda? Not really. Alright, we will summon Jormungand. And I will tribute to summon Ecdysis Caliglion. We'll set. Question becomes, do I set these? We will set 2. And this is only a turn of summon, so we'll go battle phase here. We will attempt to attack over your Fierce Duke Full Owl and then pass. Alright. That guy's just big enough. Although I think heavy metal... I think a lot of your guys actually fuck this. You've only got 1 level 7 out at the moment.
I'm going to normal summon. No Wave.
Okay, so you're going to bring back the other No Wave.
Phaser.
Oh, here we go. Here we fucking go.
Womp womp.
So this is face up or just all monsters? All face up. Okay. I feel like that could have been catastrophically worse. So it's bad, but it's not you know, oh my god, the game's over bad.
Yeah.
Right, there goes Ancient Lizard Warrior. Okay, well this hand was almost a brick, but it isn't, so that's good. We'll start by normal summoning Mantis Leon. Activate his effect. I want to fill that graveyard. We missed it, which is what we were expecting. We were expecting to hit all of them. We're then going to flip summon our Armored Lizard. We're then going to activate the effect of Spy Observation, which realistically I should have used Spy Observation first. Do I want this on top? That is the question. I think it's fine to stay on the top. And then I can pop this. So that was a command. But we have a second Spy Observation, and we'll leave that on top again. And we will pop this card, which was another... Okay. Then we're going to normal summon out Clawleon, followed by activating Heavenly Revolution, sending all 3 monsters to the grave, and bringing back everyone's favourite, Ecdysis Caliglion. Then I think I'm just going to set this. Go to battle. And attempt to attack over. You can negate it.
I've got King's Majesty.
Okay, okay. So all it does is negate it. So that's not terrible. I think you have to perform another big tribute to get rid of this.
I can do Royal Rebels Break.
Okay.
Activate its effect. Special summon a 6, making him a 7.
Ooh.
Tribute for Hard Rock. Activate Hard Rock's effect.
So he's going to burn me for 13. And he's 63. What's the difference in their attack there? That's 2,500? So you're 1,000 off lethal.
Little follow.
That comes down to what my back row is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Ah. Ah. Yeah, that was cool though. I find it that you rarely get off like the Royal Rebels Hard Rocks effects because just having 2 level 7s tribute is such a high cost. But whenever it comes off, it's really cool. Right, we'll go first. All right, well, good luck in the old final game. I will... I'm pretty sure I can't use this effect. I would like to just send the top card, which would have been nice, but we're not going to split hairs about it. Tribute 2, summon Predator Gunleon. We will set this and pass.
Oh dear.
Ooh, it's the brick. It's the brick back.
Activate Live Arena.
If you across 2 more monsters, when this goes to the field, face up light attribute cannot be destroyed by trap effects. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Especially since I don't think you've seen any of my trap cards yet.
No, not used one.
I will set this. Then I'll tribute 2 and summon out my unknown Flyleon. I can activate its effect by paying 1,000 life points. I can flip this up to attack mode. Then I'm going to set 2 back row, go to battle, and attack with my unknown Flyleon.
That's such a hard counter to this deck.
What, changing them to attack mode?
Yeah. Like if that had been a no wave.
Well, I'm only playing the 1 copy, if it makes you feel any better. I just didn't draw it in the other games, and I didn't like side it in specifically.
Yeah, I think this...
Alright, well, we'll start with this. We put this on the bottom of the deck. And then we'll pop this. Okay. I will then go ahead and activate his effect.
GG.
Flip this. Oh, yeah, is that just lethal? You got nothing for this?
I've got 2 fusions on my back row.
Oh, man. That's so sad.
I'm only running 2 fusion.
I assume that your hand is also just 3 big tribute monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a rough one, buddy. I mean, that's the big weakness of that deck, though, right? Is you kind of have to play a bunch of them. I mean, there are like you use the I forget what his name is, the little pyramid dude. You used him to like cheat him into a 7, and he's like a really cool card that you can use for that. But for the most part, you still have to use those big guys. One thing are you not on heavy metal? Because I really like heavy metal.
I'm on heavy metal. Just didn't have a chance to use them.
So I saw you play. Was it No Wave you summoned to twice, or Hard Rock?
No Wave and Hard Rock.
Yeah, Hard Rock was really, really cool. I think he's the kind of card that he's going to come off like one in every like 4 or 5 games. But whenever he does, he's like game determinative, right? He's like, bam, I've come down, I've fucked your guy up, I've got a shit ton of attack, done a load of burn damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, GG, man.
Yeah, GG.